ago, before I was on the mission, you know.
Yeah.
I had voices for 2 years, getting good advice when I got depressed. And thinking about my grandma was buried in the cemetery where I worked and that, you know. She lived with us. We were very close.
Yeah.
And I blamed myself for her death.
Yeah.
Because she was coming down the steps and we had 2 little kittens, you know. We were playing with them at the bottom of the steps. I was in the kitchen, sat at the table, and I heard a clumping down the steps.
Yeah.
And she was about nearly 80, you know, and a bit unsteady on her feet. And I said, Grandma, be careful. She was nearly at the bottom. I said, there's a kitten playing there. And clump, still kept coming down, you know. And she stepped on one, and all blood came out of its mouth, and she killed it, you know.
Was your gran talking to your head was your gran talking to you in your head, or was it God?
No, it wasn't my grandma. No.
No.
No, I thought at the time it was God, you know.
Yeah. Well, what did he say?
Oh, all kinds of things, good advice and that, not to get down, and
Yeah.
you weren't responsible for your grandma's death and that, and stop blaming yourself, you know.
Yeah.
But she died about a week after I'd shouted at her, you know.
Yeah.
I'd never raised my voice to her in my life, you know, but it was a shock when I saw her foot come down on the kitten.
Yeah.
And crush it, and
I
shouted, look, you've killed it, and that, you've killed the kitten, I shouted at her, you know.
Yeah.
And she never recovered. Over a week or less than 2 weeks later, she died, you know.
Yeah.
No, I tried suicide once when I was outside, long before I was caught, you know.
Yeah.
Long before I'd actually taken anybody's life. I tried to drive my car off Alter Rock, where the Druids used to sacrifice people.
Oh, right, yeah.
In Bingley. And a big steep rock, and there's all rocks at the bottom where they used to land on them, you know. And I drove my car. I was going to drive over the edge, but it got jammed on a rock sticking up out of the ground.
Yeah.
The car was rocking like a seesaw.
Right.
And I got out and trying to rev it up with my hand on the steering wheel to jump back in again. And it wouldn't grip. And in the end, it took me so long to free the car that I just forgot I just put it out of my mind what I was going to do.
Have you ever thought about it in jail? Or not? Have you ever thought it while you've been inside or anything like that?
No.
Yeah. What do you miss most about being free then?
Oh, I miss being able to, well, it's not the same now. You can't drive freely here. There's traffic jams and all that. I miss driving, and I miss seaside holidays.
Yeah.
Just the normal things, you know, stroking a dog.
I'm going to ask you something silly now. Do you miss sex then?
Yeah, I certainly do, yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Well, they've just knocked on the door, Hope. So
have they?
A quarter of an hour's up, darling.
All right, then.
Anyway, I'll speak to you again. I don't know when